Hi friends, my name is Bhavya Mangla. I'm IATF qualified auditor. I'm doing audits for automotive sector for the last 17 years. So I'm again back with a very interesting topic that is related to evidence-based decision making. It's a series going on of the 8 episodes, wherein the first episode was with respect to the overall quality management principle. And after that, I went through each and every quality management principle separately, like customer focus, leadership, process approach, improvement, and now in this, I'm talking about evidence based decision making. Warren Buffett has very rightly said it is better to be approximately right than completely or precisely wrong. I think that is something important in our day-to-day life also. We need to make some decision. We need to take some decision. But whenever we are taking some decision, it should be based on some data. But if only data is important, or we need to have something more apart from the data, I mean to say maybe some thinking, some experience, some intellect, and then if we combine with data, I think then we can take a good decision. Like I can give an example of a city where two salesmen went who were going there to sell the shoes. So one of the salesmen immediately after landing there found that nobody is wearing shoes. So he called back his company and said that, okay, book me a ticket back. There is no possibility of selling any shoe there. But the other salesman said that I want to be here for next 3 months, send as much stock as possible. Because he was not only looking at the data that nobody is wearing shoes, but he's also looking it from his past experience that what is the potential in that particular city. Something similar is important in an organization also. Whenever, say, an organization or maybe an advertisement company is looking into the investment budget, they see the TRP rating to decide that where they need to invest more. Similarly, an angel investor look into the business plan of a startup to decide that whether they should invest in this particular thing or not. If I talk about ISO 9001 2015 as well as IATF 16949, as per this quality management principle, I'm going to talk about 5 different steps. The first one will be why evidence-based decision making is important. Second is how to go ahead with that. The third one is what are the possible outputs of evidence-based decision making. The fourth one is about the benefits that we can get from that. And the last and the fifth most important is what are the challenges that industry faces with respect to evidence-based decision making. So starting first with how or why evidence-based decision making is important. So the first step is that it increases the probability of taking the right decision. Secondly, it helps the organization to understand the causes and the effect of any decision that they are taking. Because if it is clear, it makes the thing very easy to make the thing acceptable to other people and justify what they are doing. The third is it helps the organization to understand that what can be the possible unintended result that can happen if that particular decision is taken or if it is not taken. And the fourth and the most important is it helps the organization to add some objectivity in their decision making, because whenever we are taking any decision, it is based on many different factors, and sometimes the situation is so complex that it's very difficult to decide that whatever decision that we are going to take, whether it will be right or wrong. But with evidences, it helps the organization to be more objective in that. So that brings point number two, how to make evidence-based decision making. So I would like to explain it in the form of PDCA approach, plan, do, check and act. When I talk about planning, here the intent is that first of all we need to plan that for which processes we need to have the data. Then second part is what data we need for that particular process. The third one is what will be the frequency of getting that particular data. And lastly, the most important in planning is that whether the people who are capturing that data, whether they are competent or not, and if not, we need to make them competent for that. That brings do. Now in do, we actually need to capture the data, and while capturing the data, we need to make sure that we are doing it as per the defined frequency and we are capturing the data from the reliable sources only. Then third, C, check. Now we have to check that whatever data that we have captured, whether it is correct, what kind of trends are going, what indicators it is giving, and what possible actions we can take about that. And the last, action. Now based on the data, now we have to see that what decisions we have to take and decide that what can be the future course of action. And then the cycle will continue, PDCA. That brings point number three. What are the possible evidence-based decision-making outputs that organization can have? The first and the most important is about management review outputs. So it's a result of the different kind of inputs that a management gets from different process owners. It can be related to quality, cost, delivery, development, any other process. So based on that, the top management reviews, analyze, and then the output is coming. The second possible and very important tangible output with respect to evidence-based decision making is about the actions taken on the customer satisfaction survey, or maybe the inputs that we are getting from customer with respect to customer complaints, rejections. So we analyze the entire data, we understand what is the perception of the customer, and we take some action. Something similar is with respect to different data which are in internal processes of the organization. Maybe it can be rejection, scrap, rework, repair. Based on all that data, we understand that what are the strengths of the process and which are the process which need additional support. And based on that, we can take some action. Something similar is with respect to the data, with respect to the trends in which our profitability or the performance of the organization is going. So whichever trend that we can see from different data, we can take a good decision that what needs to be done and what needs to be corrected. So that brings point number 4. What can be the possible benefits that organization can get by having evidence-based decision making? First of all, and the most important, it brings objectivity into decision making, whatever you are doing. Secondly, in case any of our decision is not going right, we always know that on what basis we have taken the decision, what was the logic behind taking that particular decision. Thirdly, it improves the operational effectiveness and efficiency. And fourth, it helps in making sure that whatever decision that we are taking, they are reliable and people have a trust on that particular data. That brings point number 5. What are the possible challenges that industry is facing or may be facing with respect to evidence-based decision making? The first one is how often the people are taking decisions based on the data or maybe based on their hunch feeling. Secondly, even when we are taking a decision, is it based on one isolated incident or it is based on a good sample size, and based on that we are deciding what can be the future course of action. The thirdly, are we making sure that we are getting the data from the reliable sources? And the fourth and the most important thing is how often we see that the people who are collecting the data and sharing the data, they're actually competent and reliable to do that. So if I talk in summary, I talk about 5 different steps. Why evidence-based decision making is important, how to take evidence-based decision making, data, what are the possible results of evidence-based decision making, and then what are the benefits the organization can take, and fifth and the last one was what are the challenges that industry is facing with respect to evidence-based decision making. Well, the next and the last episode of this particular series will be with respect to the last principle, that is relationship management. In case you are liking this video and you feel that you want to get this video regularly, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm regularly getting a lot of good feedbacks and inputs and suggestions from you. Do continue that because it helps me to understand your perception. And lastly, in case you want to understand a little bit more about this video, if you go and see a below link, you'll find a blog there at bhavyamangla.com. You can go there and read that particular blog to understand in more detail. Thank you.